So, hi Wallace.
Hello, Lisa.
How are you today?
Great.
Good, me too. Wallace, I just had another question, and it's again on the theme of the ego versus our inner guidance. So, I know that you wrote a book that you've told me about, and it's called The Art of Effortless Living. And I know we discussed the first step towards that, or what I would see. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess one of the steps towards that is when you can recognize when your ego is trying to make a life decision or an important decision for you, and when to know how to let go, step back, be at peace, I suppose,
Yeah.
and allow the right decision for everybody and every aspect of the situation to come to you. So that's definitely something worth trying, and something I am trying to do. But how then would that lead me into effortless? What is effortless living?
Now, this is one of my favorite topics.
Oh, good.
Because effortless living, I'm passionate about communicating effortless living because life really is effortless, and so many people get a million miles away from the effortlessness of life lived naturally. So for example, if you look at a fox, we have foxes in the estate here, they get their needs met, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They don't have a scheduler or a planner, they don't have a smartphone.
A 10-year plan.
But what they do have is they have an awareness of how to get their needs met in any moment, any particular moment. So for example, a fox came into our garden recently and ate the bulbs that we'd planted.
Oh.
But the fox got its needs met, you know.
The bulbs didn't.
Well, that's life.
Yeah, that's life.
One thing is sacrificed for
another. That's true.
And so what is effortless living? Effortless living is living like that fox.
Okay.
It's not worrying about the future, not regretting the past. It's actually being totally present. Effortless living is about being totally present to any particular moment and bringing all your capacities to that moment.
Okay.
For example, I used to work in business. I had my own company at a time, and I used to go to business meetings, and I would see people in business gatherings and see opportunities for people there, and people would completely miss them. There was one woman, for example, at a meeting, and I explained to her how if she were to link in with me, she could combine her project for the homeless with a training that I had that would be of great benefit both to her project and to my training, and I'd love to meet her after the event. And I said this publicly round the table. She never picked up on it, didn't inquire into it, didn't meet after the event. The opportunity was lost, and I think she just wasn't present to what I was saying.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Now I tend not to repeat myself, so
Yeah.
I didn't tackle her on it or anything. So that opportunity was lost.
Okay.
But that happens all the time. In business it happens all the time. In our private life it happens all the time. In dating it happens all the time. Where opportunities are actually either not seen, and if they are seen, are lost.
So how do you train yourself to see these opportunities, or to recognize them as opportunities? Is there I'm not looking for a bit of magic, but like how can you help yourself to become more aware of the opportunities that are around you?
Well, the most important thing for effortless living, and the most important thing for you to be able to see opportunities, is to know yourself. Because what you're looking for is not any opportunity. You're looking for an opportunity that will further you in becoming more, in being able to express yourself more and more completely in the world. So you're looking for opportunities which will help you express yourself, whether that's in business, in relationships, or whatever. So if you don't know yourself, happens in the early stages of dating. I'm sure you're familiar in your own life. We went out in the dating scene. You didn't really know yourself well, so you didn't know who suited you well.
No.
So what you thought was an opportunity wasn't an opportunity at all. It was just something that was taking you in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But then you suffered. You had pain and suffering from that, and then
you learned.
You learned. You reflected, and then you changed tack, and came closer to going in the right direction.
And very often you learn, I know from dating, very often you learn what you don't want in another person, but it's much harder to learn what you do want.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. And it's all about knowing yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And if you know yourself, then you'll know, you'll be able to spot how to get your own needs met in a relationship or in business or anywhere else.
Like the fox.
Yeah, like the fox.
Be like a fox.
Yeah.
So that's how you. So by recognizing when there are opportunities, and so what do you do exactly to do that? You know yourself. How do you come to know yourself more? That's a big one.
I would say have a spiritual teacher or some sort of mentor who can help and assist you in your personal development.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a story I wrote some years ago about two people who went out into the world after college, and one of them became a big success in the money markets.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both friends. He was a big success in the money markets, and he'd succeeded really well and made a fortune, but he didn't pay any attention to his own personal development, and he ended up falling out with the board of his company, ending up in a marriage that was a divorce. And when my friend met him some years later in the park, my friend asked him, "What did you do with your life?" And he was explaining this to him, and then he asked my friend, "What did you do with your life?" And he said, "I invested in pure gold." Well, what was pure gold? It was personal development training, and he'd gone on to create a dating website.
Wow. Met
the woman of his dreams through the dating website, and was happily married with plenty of money and a great life, because he knew himself first before he went out and sacrificed himself at the altar.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That really kind of, it really shows you one versus the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how a person can be rich materially, but not rich spiritually.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Wallace.
Okay.
Thank you.